My girlfriend's friends arranged a reaction test where she'd pretend to walk out. She said, "It's over. I can't do this anymore." I replied, "Perfect timing. Now I don't have to hide what your friend told me." Her friends snapped their heads toward her, and before she could ask which friend, something happened that none of them were ready for. I'm 34, and 2 days ago I thought my girlfriend was breaking up with me for real reasons. Turns out it was a setup by her friends to test how I'd react. What they didn't know was that one of those friends had already told me something that would blow up the entire group, and my response triggered a chain reaction none of them saw coming. I'd been dating her for about a year and a half. We met through a friend of a friend at a dinner party, started talking, exchanged numbers. Things moved naturally. No red flags at first. She had a solid career, close friend group, seemed emotionally stable. We talked about future plans, moving in together eventually, all the standard relationship progression stuff. But her friends always rubbed me the wrong way. Not all of them, just her core group. 3 women she'd known since college. They were the type who treated relationships like experiments, always testing their boyfriends, always creating drama to see how guys would react. I'd heard stories. One of them made her boyfriend think she was pregnant just to see if he'd propose. Another staged a fake fight in public to see if he'd defend her. Toxic stuff disguised as just making sure he's the right one. My girlfriend wasn't like that. At least I thought she wasn't. She'd roll her eyes when her friends would tell these stories. She'd say things like, "I would never do that," or, "That's so immature." I believed her. About 3 months ago, one of her friends reached out to me directly, the quieter one of the group. She asked if we could grab coffee, said she needed to talk to me about something important. I was hesitant, but agreed. We met at a cafe near my work. She looked nervous, kept stirring her coffee without drinking it. "I need to tell you something," she said, "but you can't let anyone know it came from me." "Okay. The other girls in our group, they're planning something. A test. For you. A test. Yeah. They want to see how you'd react if she broke up with you. They're going to convince her to fake a breakup and see what you do." I just stared at her. "Are you serious?" "Completely. They've been planning it for weeks. They think it's fun. They think it's a good way to see if you're really committed." "And my girlfriend is going along with this?" "They're working on her. She's resistant, but they're persistent. They always get their way eventually." "Why are you telling me?" She looked down at her coffee. "Because it's wrong, and because I'm tired of watching them manipulate people. I've seen them ruin good relationships with this stuff. I don't want them to ruin yours." "What do they expect me to do?" "I don't know. Beg, probably. Cry, chase her, prove you can't live without her. Whatever feeds their egos." I sat back, processed. "When is this supposed to happen?" "I don't know exactly. Soon, though. Maybe a week or 2. "And you're sure she's going to go through with it?" "If they push hard enough, yeah. She always caves to them eventually." I thanked her. Told her I appreciated the heads up. Told her I wouldn't mention where I got the information. She seemed relieved. I spent the next 2 weeks watching, waiting. My girlfriend acted normal. Maybe a little distant, but nothing dramatic. I didn't bring it up. Didn't want to tip my hand. Then 3 days ago, she texted me. "Can you come over tonight? We need to talk." That phrase, the universal precursor to bad news. I knew this was it. I showed up at her place around 7 p.m. She was sitting on the couch. Her 3 friends were there too. That was the first confirmation. She never had her friends over when we were supposed to have serious conversations. "Hey," I said, walking in. "Hey." She didn't stand, didn't hug me, just stayed on the couch looking serious. Her friends were trying to look casual, but I could feel them watching, waiting. I sat down across from her. "So what's going on?" She took a breath, looked at her friends, then at me. "I've been thinking a lot about us." "Okay. And I don't think this is working anymore." "What isn't working?" "Us. This relationship. I don't feel the way I used to feel." I nodded slowly. "When did this change?" "I don't know. Gradually, I can't do this anymore. Her friends were watching me. One of them had her phone out, probably recording, probably planning to share this with their group chat later. I looked at my girlfriend, looked at her friends, then back at her. It's over, she said. I can't do this anymore. I leaned back. Perfect timing. Now I don't have to hide what your friend told me. The room went silent. Her friends' heads snapped toward her, then toward each other, then back to me. What friend? My girlfriend asked. One of the three of you, I said, looking directly at her friends. Told me about this little test you were planning. About 2 months ago, actually. Over coffee. One of the friends went pale. The quiet one, the one who'd warned me. But she stayed silent. I don't know what you're talking about, my girlfriend said, but her voice wavered. Really? Because I have texts. Detailed texts about how your friends were going to convince you to fake a breakup to test me. About how they always do this. About how it's some twisted game you all play. The other two friends looked at the quiet one. She was staring at her hands. Is this true? My girlfriend asked, turning to them. We were just trying to help, one of them said. We wanted to make sure he was really serious about you. By making me lie to him? It's not lying, it's testing. It's exactly lying, I said, and manipulative, and toxic. My girlfriend looked at me. Did you know? This whole time? Yeah, I knew. And you didn't say anything? I wanted to see if you'd actually go through with it. If you'd choose your friend's twisted game over respecting me and our relationship. I didn't know. You knew enough. You knew this wasn't a real feeling. You knew you were performing. And you did it anyway. One of her friends stood up. This is ridiculous. We were trying to protect her. From what? A stable relationship? Someone who treats her well? You weren't protecting her. You were entertaining yourselves. You're being dramatic. Am I? Because from where I'm sitting, you three convinced my girlfriend to lie to me, fake a breakup, and humiliate me in front of all of you just so you could see how I'd react. That's not protection, that's cruelty. The quiet friend finally spoke. I'm sorry. I tried to warn you. I tried to stop them. You did warn me, I said, and I appreciate that. But the fact that this even happened means there's a bigger problem here. My girlfriend was crying now. I shouldn't have listened to them. I should have told you. Yeah, you should have. Is this actually over? I stood up. I don't know. But I know I can't be with someone who values her friend's entertainment over honesty. So you need to figure out what matters more to you. Don't put this on her, one of the friends said. We were just what? Just testing me? Just playing games? Just seeing if I'd beg? Well, here's your answer. I don't beg. I don't chase people who lie to me. And I definitely don't stay with someone who thinks this kind of manipulation is acceptable. I grabbed my jacket, headed for the door. Wait, my girlfriend said. Please don't leave like this. I stopped, turned around. You want me to stay? After you just faked a breakup to test me? After you let your friends turn our relationship into entertainment? I made a mistake. You made a choice. And now I'm making mine. I left, walked to my car, sat there for a minute trying to process what had just happened. My phone started buzzing immediately, texts from her, calls, voicemails. I ignored all of it. The next morning, I woke up to 37 missed notifications, most from her, a few from her friends, one from the quiet friend who'd warned me, the quiet friend's message. I'm sorry. I should have done more to stop them. They're mad at me now, but I don't care. You deserve to know. I responded. Thank you for telling me. You did the right thing. My girlfriend's messages were a mix of apologies and justifications. I know I messed up. I shouldn't have listened to them. Please, can we talk? I love you. I didn't mean for it to go like this. I didn't respond to any of them. 2 days later, she showed up at my place. I almost didn't answer the door, but figured we needed to have this conversation eventually. Can I come in? She asked. For a few minutes. We sat in my living room. She looked exhausted. I ended things with them, she said. My friends, the ones who pushed me to do this. All of them? The two who came up with the idea. I'm still talking to the one who warned you. She was the only one who tried to stop it. Good. I know that doesn't fix what I did. I know I hurt you. But I need you to know that I never wanted to do it. They pressured me. They made it seem like it was the only way to know if you were really committed. And you believe them? I was scared. They kept saying things like, what if he's just with you until something better comes along, and don't you want to know for sure? And eventually I started doubting everything. So instead of talking to me, you lied to me. Yes, and that was wrong. I see that now. Do you? Because it seems like you only see it now because it blew up in your face. She didn't argue with that. I love you, she said. I know I don't deserve another chance, but I'm asking anyway. I sat back. I need time. I need to figure out if I can trust you again, because right now, I don't. How much time? I don't know. However long it takes. Are we broken up? I don't know that either. Right now, we're just nothing. We're in limbo until I decide if this is worth salvaging. I'll wait. However long you need. Don't wait expecting a specific outcome. Wait, because you need to work on yourself. Because you need to figure out why you let your friends convince you to do something you knew was wrong. She nodded. I will. And stop texting me constantly. If I want to talk, I'll reach out. Okay. She left. I sat there feeling empty. Over the next week, I thought a lot about the relationship, about whether the good parts outweighed this betrayal, about whether I could ever really trust her again. I also thought about her friends, about the toxicity, about how they'd probably done this to other guys, about how they'd ruin every relationship they touched if someone didn't stop them. I reached out to the quiet friend who'd warned me, asked if we could meet up again. We met at the same cafe. She looked worried. Am I in trouble? She asked. No, the opposite. I wanted to thank you properly and ask you something. Okay. Have they done this before? To other guys? She nodded. At least 3 that I know of, maybe more. And what happened? All 3 relationships ended. The guys either begged and looked pathetic, which made the girls lose respect for them, or they got angry and looked aggressive, which validated the girls' concerns that they were unsafe. Either way, the relationship was poisoned. It's a no-win scenario. Exactly. That's why I warned you. You seemed like a good guy. You didn't deserve to be put through that. What about you? Why do you stay friends with them? She sighed. Honestly, I'm not sure anymore. We've been friends since college. It's hard to walk away from that much history. But after this, I don't know. I'm starting to think the history isn't worth the toxicity. You should consider it. You seem like you have better judgment than them. Thanks. I think I needed to hear that. We talked for another hour. About toxic friendships, about enabling behavior, about how hard it is to walk away from people you've known for years even when they're clearly bad for you. By the end of the conversation, she'd made a decision. She was going to distance herself from the group, not cut them off completely, but establish boundaries. Stop participating in their games. Stop enabling their behavior. I'm proud of you, I said. Don't be. I should have done this years ago. Better late than never. 10 days after the fake breakup, I texted my girlfriend. We need to talk. She responded immediately. When? Tonight. Your place. Okay, just us? Yes. I showed up at 7 p.m. She answered the door, looking hopeful and terrified at the same time. We sat on her couch, the same couch where she'd faked breaking up with me. I've made a decision, I said. Okay. I can't be with you right now. Maybe not ever. What you did broke something, and I don't know if it can be fixed. Her face fell. I understand. But I also think you're a good person who made a terrible choice because of terrible friends. And I think you deserve a chance to become someone who doesn't make choices like that again. What does that mean? It means I'm not slamming the door completely, but I'm not leaving it open either. It's just closed for now. If someday you've grown enough that you wouldn't even consider doing something like this again, maybe we can revisit. But that's not today, and it might not be ever. So this is a breakup. Yeah, it is. She started crying. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I ruined this. I know you are, but sorry doesn't undo it. Is there anything I can do? Get better friends. Go to therapy. Figure out why you're so easily influenced. Work on yourself, not for me, for you. I will. Good. I stood up to leave. She walked me to the door. Thank you, she said, for not hating me. I don't hate you, I'm just disappointed. There's a difference. I know. I left. Drove home. Felt sad, but also relieved. Like I'd made the right choice even though it hurt. 2 weeks after that conversation, the quiet friend reached out again. I thought you should know. The other 2 friends are trying to spin this. They're telling people you were controlling, and that's why you broke up with her. They're making themselves the victims. Of course they are. She shut it down, though. Told everyone the truth. About what they did. About the fake breakup. She's not protecting them anymore. Good. I'm sorry this happened. You deserved better. Thanks. So did she. Better friends, at least. She's working on it. She's been in therapy for a week now. That's good. Really. Do you think you'll ever get back together? I don't know. Right now I'm just focused on moving forward. Fair enough. A month passed. I focused on work, my hobbies, my actual friends, the ones who didn't play games or test people, the ones who respected boundaries and communicated honestly. I started exercising more. Took up a new hobby, woodworking. Found it therapeutic to create something with my hands, something real and tangible that didn't involve emotional manipulation or hidden agendas. One evening, I was in my garage working on a bookshelf when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Hi. This is going to sound weird, but I'm one of the guys who dated one of your ex's friends, the one who told everyone I was controlling. I set down my tools. Okay. I heard what happened to you, the fake breakup thing. I just wanted to reach out and say I'm sorry you went through that, and also to warn you that they're still trying to trash your reputation. I figured. There's a whole group chat where they coordinate their stories, make sure everyone's saying the same things about the guys they've dated. It's calculated. It's intentional. Why are you telling me this? Because someone should have warned me. Maybe if they had, I wouldn't have spent 2 years thinking I was the problem. I want to save you from that. We talked for about 30 minutes. He told me his story, how they'd tested him, how he'd failed their test by getting angry, how they'd used that anger to paint him as dangerous and controlling, how it had affected his reputation for years. The only way to win their game is not to play, he said, which is what you did. You walked away. That's the smartest thing you could have done. Doesn't feel smart. Feels like I lost. You didn't lose. You refused to participate. There's a difference. After that call, I realized something. This wasn't just about my relationship. This was about a pattern. A toxic pattern that had hurt multiple people, and the only way to break it was to refuse to engage with it. I called the quiet friend. I have an idea, I said, and I need your help. Okay. How many guys do you think they've done this to? At least 5 or 6 over the years. Do you have contact information for any of them? Maybe. Why? Because I think they deserve to know they weren't the problem. I think they deserve to know it was a setup. I think they deserve to hear that from someone who was there. She was quiet for a moment. You want me to reach out to them? If you're comfortable. If not, I understand. No, you're right. They deserve to know. I'll do it. Over the next 2 weeks, she reached out to every guy she could find who'd been through one of these tests. Some didn't want to talk about it. Some had moved on and didn't want to revisit it, but 3 of them agreed to meet. We met at a restaurant. 5 of us, total. Me, the quiet friend, and 3 guys who'd all been through variations of the same test. We shared our stories, compared notes, realized just how calculated and systematic it had been. One of the guys said something that stuck with me. I thought I was crazy. I thought I was the only one. Knowing it wasn't just me, that helps. You're not crazy, the quiet friend said. I watched them do this. I watched them plan it. I watched them manipulate all of you, and I did nothing to stop it until now. I'm sorry. You're stopping it now, I said. That's what matters. By the end of that dinner, we'd all agreed on something. We weren't going to engage in a revenge plot or try to ruin their reputations. We were just going to share our experiences if anyone asked. Tell the truth, not embellish, not exaggerate, just the facts. And that's what we did. Over the next month, word spread. The 2 toxic friends' reputations started to shift. People who'd heard their version of events started hearing ours. People started asking questions, started seeing the pattern. They tried to fight back, tried to discredit us. But it's hard to discredit 5 different people telling the same story. Eventually, they stopped. Went quiet on social media, stopped going to mutual events, essentially withdrew from the social circle they dominated for years. My ex reached out during all of this. I heard what you did with the other guys. Thank you for not including me in it. You weren't part of the problem. You were manipulated by the problem. Still, I appreciate it. How's therapy going? Good. Hard, but good. I'm learning a lot about myself, about why I'm so easily influenced, about my need for approval. That's good, really. I don't expect us to get back together. I just wanted you to know that I'm working on it. For me. I'm glad. Can I ask you something? Sure. Do you think I'll ever be able to have a healthy relationship after all this? Yeah, I do. But not until you finish figuring yourself out. Not until you can set boundaries with people who try to manipulate you. Not until you trust yourself enough to not need constant validation. That's fair. You'll get there. Just keep working on it. Thanks. It's been 3 months since the fake breakup. I'm doing well. Better than well, actually. I've got a new hobby, a new routine, new clarity about what I want in a relationship. My ex is still in therapy, still working on herself. We text occasionally. Nothing serious, just checking in. She's cut off the toxic friends completely, building new friendships with healthier people. The quiet friend and I have stayed in touch. She's doing better too, building her own life separate from the group she'd been stuck with for so long. The 2 toxic friends are apparently still trying to run their games, but their reputation precedes them now. Guys know to avoid them. Women know not to introduce them to their boyfriends. As for me, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I'm just living my life, working, building furniture, spending time with good people. If my ex ever becomes the person she's working to become, maybe we'll try again. But I'm not waiting for that. I'm not planning my life around a maybe. I'm just moving forward. One day at a time, without games, without tests, without people who think manipulation is the same as love. And honestly, that feels pretty good. I'm 34, single, learning that sometimes the right choice isn't the one that feels good in the moment. It's the one that respects you enough to walk away from people who don't. And I'm completely okay with that.